Hey guys, it's Carlos from the We're Just Fans podcast. Thank you for joining us this evening. I am joined, of course, by my co-host, Poppy. Let him know what's up, Poppy.
It's all good, man. It's all good. How's everybody going?
Why'd you hesitate right before? I'm not ready.
I'm doing something real quick.
Okay, I was like, whoa, why'd you hesitate?
No, but we good.
You're like confused of being here today. Like, oh, I'm here.
I'm always confused, bro. You know this.
Yes, that's true. You're pretty confused sometimes. Then we also got Rios. Rios, let him know what's up. Rios, how's it going, bud?
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
What? What is happening?
Hey,
what is happening?
As I was saying.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. All right. And of course, we got our old friend of the show, Zeke. Let him know what's up, Zeke. How you doing, bud?
What's up, guys? Glad to be back and talk about our bet that we made last time.
Dude, you got to remind us. So
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's recorded, so we can't even sneak our way out of this one.
Oh, we can delete it. That's fine. We can delete it.
Yeah, for those listeners early listeners that we had around that time, back in August, we had Zeke on the podcast, and it was before we started doing the YouTube stuff. It was before we were just getting started basically, and we had Zeke on the podcast, and we made a bet. We made a bet that when the time came for the Texans to go against the Cowboys this season, since it only happens once every 4 years during a regular season game, we made a bet. For some reason, I don't think none of us were sober except for Zeke. And we basically made the bet that if the Texans lose, which is most likely going to happen based on the season that they're having, we were going to wear Cowboys jerseys and change our profile picture of us wearing Cowboys jerseys.
And get disowned by our families.
Spend Christmas by ourselves, basically, with that. We're going to get disowned. Nobody's going to like us anymore. And that's going to happen. And, of course, if Zeke's team, the Cowboys, ended up losing, he would be doing the same thing. But chances are, the way the Cowboys are playing and the way the Texans are playing, that's probably not going to happen. So, Zeke, how do you feel going into this week?
I'm just curious, do you guys have any reason why your team would win this week?
No.
A COVID outbreak on the Cowboys.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, COVID.
We don't show up. It's just a forfeit.
Basically, the punter is the starting quarterback.
Yeah, basically.
You don't want Cooper Rush. You don't want none of that game.
No,
Jerry Johnson running back. That's probably our only chance of winning that game.
No, not even. No, there's nothing. There's really nothing that we could possibly do that could get us a win.
Yeah,
at all. Even if we execute all of our plays to perfection, we would somehow still choke it.
I think Kyle Allen's going to throw like 3 interceptions.
Yeah,
two
by
Trevon Diggs.
The first
exactly. It's awful. Like, I want to go back to the Browns game that the Texans had.
Do we have to?
We do. It was awful because it was a very winnable game. Like, they could have won it. Deshaun Watson was terrible. Yeah, they could have. Deshaun Watson was terrible. This man had almost Davis Mills-like numbers. Like, that's how bad Deshaun Watson was, which it's expected because obviously, he's rusty or whatever. He hasn't played, but he, and also Jalen, how do you call it? Our safety ended up like picking him. Y'all saw that?
Yeah,
that was amazing. And so it goes to show, like, definitely he has no chemistry with the receivers right now. But even with all that, the Texans, I believe, should have won that game, but they didn't. So obviously, the Cowboys right now, being who they are, the Texans are going to have such a bad time with the Cowboys, and it's going to hurt because Rios and I are going to be in the DFW area with my cousin Robert, who's a diehard Cowboys fan, and he's going to basically make fun of us, and we're going to look terrible in front of him.
He's probably going to leave us there, and we're going to have to find a way home.
So we're not looking
so many fights.
This is honestly the game that I was dreading because I knew that bet that we have with Zeke going on.
So let me tell you something. So I don't know what you're talking about when you say that was a winnable game. The Browns have actually looked decent at times this season without Deshaun. So even if Deshaun went into the game and had a bad game, even if he had a worse game than he actually did, I don't see this offense doing anything against. I didn't see the offense doing anything against the Browns, let alone the Cowboys next week. Like we are on, like we're like beneath the floor. Like we're so bad. We might be the worst team. Like I know everybody's like crapping on Denver for playing so bad for like the past like 6 weeks, 7 weeks in a row. But honestly, we're right there with them. We're right there with them. We are not fun to watch.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Do you guys think that you could give the same amount of production Russell Wilson has for the same amount of money?
Would that even make a difference?
Would it make it? Yeah, would it make it? Actually,
no. I'm just asking. Do you think you guys could like have the exact same season that he's having, getting paid what he is?
Yes, because as much as I want to say that the quarterback position is a big issue with the Texans, it's very apparent that the play calling and some of the people that we have around us, even though it's an upgrade from last year, hilariously, it's still something is not right. I'm pretty adamant now after seeing last week's game. Play calling is awful, and I have much respect for Lovie Smith and Pep, but something is not working, and it shows because again, and this is where I have to disagree with you, Poppy. You're fired, by the way. No, I'm kidding. No, because I think he leaves because it's like it seemed beatable in a sense, but it just what beat the Texans this particular game. They started off kind of hot, but what beat the Texans this game was special teams for the Cleveland Browns and their defense. It wasn't any offense. They even stopped Nick Chubb for a little bit, which surprised me. And there were times where they kind of held him down, But to answer Zeke's question, maybe, but I think we would still have about the same amount of production with Russ that we would with Kyle Allen, just because I think of the play calling. I think the play calling has played a big role in the demise that we have going on right now as well.
We're the worst team in the league, man.
What's that?
I think I can play better than both.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like,
you cut that like a tenth. Like, give me $25 million, and I'll give you the same amount of production.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, if all I'm doing is just handing the ball off to peers, I'll do it for like $100,000 a year. If that's all I'm doing,
I'll do it at the water boy rate.
Yeah, exactly. It's bad, but to talk about one thing though, I will say we were right, Zeke. We did tell you that same particular recording when we made this bet. I did mention that Zeke's production was going to go downhill. And you told us, huh?
I knew this.
Yeah, you told us that he was going to go to like 1,000 yards or so, but his production went because I believed in Tony Pollard, and the reason I'm saying I believed in him is not because I'm a fan, but because I have him in fantasy. So that's the only reason why I was like,
I have him in fantasy too.
Yeah, exactly. I don't see Zeke coming back for you guys next year. What about you? What do you think?
No, I don't know. I mean, everybody says that Jerry, that's his guy. There's a lot of fans that are very close with him, have this like special connection. But I mean, if you just look at how the ball is ran in Dallas, Tony Pollard is just shot out of a cannon, and Zeke has kind of fallen into this like goal line situation where he's literally Jerome Bettis 2.0. Not saying that his skill set doesn't, warrant him having more touches, but that's kind of like what the role is in Dallas. That's way too much money for a contract for a goal line running back. I'm sorry. Like you can kind of find them a dime a dozen. I think the Bears would be a great place for him to go to. I think that maybe Seattle, that might be a good place for him to go to. I know Kenneth Walker's there. I don't even know if he's hurt or not. I haven't heard from him in a while, but just talking like teams that are void of running back talent, I think that he could provide a veteran presence and, maybe just like a team that, is probably not going to be winning championships, but need a running back that can give him 20, 25 carries a game. He's that running back.
Yeah. No, exactly. I don't see him there, and I like the idea that you said about Seattle. I do think that they need a running back, and they might actually be a contender to get Zeke. I do agree with that because they're in need of one, and so I could see Zeke in a Seattle uniform.
Plus, Carroll's a player's coach.
Exactly. So I agree with that. I could see that happening actually by during the offseason, Zeke going over to Seattle. What about you guys? What do y'all think?
Yeah, I can see it. I think their running scheme probably suits his running style a little bit better anyway.
Okay, Poppy.
I mean, I guess. I mean, it's plausible. Like the scheme they run over there is, like you said, Rios is a little bit better. But I mean, yeah, no, I guess. I mean, I don't really have an opinion on it. It's a Dallas play. I don't care.
There you go. All right, another thing we wanted to talk about.
I actually have Pollard in fantasy, so I'm happy he's doing.
Oh, there you go. See, Pollard a little big.
I'm the only one game. I tried.
Yeah, exactly. So another thing I wanted to talk about today, as of today, the We're Just Fans podcast joined the Wager Wire family, and I'm proud of that. We're gonna have our own. We're gonna be hosting our own spaces on Twitter, right in front, right before Zeke here does his space. So we're gonna be his opening act exactly right before Zeke. And so if it's terrible, I'm sorry, Zeke. I'm just kidding. No, but we're gonna be his opening act, and now it's Sunday mornings. I'm looking forward to this one. So Sunday mornings, mark your calendars, 10 a.m. Eastern, which will be 9 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Pacific. Sorry, guys, but just check us out. It's Rios and I. We're just gonna be hanging around, talking, doing some predictions, and of course, come and interact with us too. That's going to be a lot of fun. So we're happy to be part of the Wager Wire family as of today. So thank you, and of course, who better than to have on today, obviously, than Zeke himself from Wager Wire.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Wager Wire is going to be a new kind of like sports betting platform. It's like a secondary market where you can buy and sell bets that were previously placed at sports books. Definitely going to change the games, but going to be better than a cash out method. But they've also taken the grassroots approach where they have allowed me to, reach out to podcasts such as Just Fans 22 and try and help them give a platform, because there's a lot of things going on with WagerWire outside of Twitter. But we've created kind of a network of spaces where you just kind of like go in and interact and have a sports conversation, and everybody has fun and comes back, and it's just been going on all season. So we're just very happy to add Just Fans 22.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
We're happy to be there, man. We're happy to be there. And Poppy would join us whenever he's not too busy. He's a busy man, y'all.
I'm a busy man, especially on weekends. But yeah, I'll be there.
You have a job? What?
If I ever have a Sunday off, I'll join in with the guys. We can talk some football, some predictions. Hopefully, no Saints fans will show up, but
the history Poppy has is not a big fan of the Saints. Don't say it.
Yeah, just know if you're a Saints fan, I want to have some words, but
he's not a Saints person. Yes, at all.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun. So hopefully you guys can join and see the guys this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be fun interacting with people. We tried it out for the first time this past Sunday, and it's a lot of fun with Rios and I. It's different, obviously, from the podcast, but it's almost like having the podcast, but you actually get to talk. You actually get to talk to folks, to everybody who's in there. So, like I said, you want to say Rio sucks? Tell them. Go ahead. Tell them. Tell them there. I agree with it. I'll join you.
Me and I'll tell him to his face.
We'll tell him like he's a terrible human being. I agree. Like, just let him know. Let him know how you feel. Let him really have it. Let him really have it. Do you know he has a big truck and he complains about the gas prices? Yeah, let him have it. It's out of that, huh?
Investment at the time.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, no, this is going to be a fun weekend, and again, we're very happy to be part of Wager Wire and the best way that we can be, and looking forward to having this partnership for a good while. But yeah, and again, Zeke. So let's predict really quick, Zeke. Where do you think the score is going to be this weekend? Cowboys versus Texans.
Pretty sure it's 16.5. So I'm gonna go.
That's generous.
20-3.
20-3. Okay. Field goal.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the game's just gonna be like like we're gonna score those 20 points, and then you know what? I'm being way too generous. We're probably
Yeah,
gonna
you
score
are.
35. It's gonna be 3. That's what it's gonna be.
It's
It's gonna be like last week against the Colts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially last week against the Colts. I mean, this past weekend against the Colts, y'all like murdered them.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah, I
close
was
game.
shocked.
In the fourth quarter.
I started watching in the second half. It was really close, and then all of a sudden we rattle off like 40 points. It was like, what just happened?
Yeah, it was highway robbery. It was like that. The Cowboys really showed what they thought of Jeff Saturday as their coach. It was it was bad. When I saw that after a while, I was watching. I was doing some work, and then I kept watching it, and I was like, "Oh my god, did they really just score 50-something points on them?" Yeah, it was bad. So I don't expect mercy on us at all. I don't blame them. They're gonna run us down, and yes, I do expect a high score, just like you. Like you, I like how you said 3, because right now our only offense is our kickers. Yeah. And so I'm gonna predict. Honestly, I'm gonna predict 30. I'm gonna be a little generous. 30-3. That's what I say. 30-3. I think they're gonna be nice to us. I hope both teams have a great time. Huh?
As long as they have fun.
As long as they have fun playing the game.
It'll be a moral victory for you guys if you score more than 3.
Oh, dude, exactly.
No, not for me, man. Not for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm predicting basketball numbers. I'm thinking like 63 to like 0. Like it's gonna be ugly.
Man, not even no confidence at all with a 0, dude. Not even our kicker.
None whatsoever. Have you seen their defense, man?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Dude, Micah Parsons is insane.
5 in the league.
I watch only him on defense. I don't care about anything else. I want to see him rush the quarterback.
That's a generational player right there.
He's fun to watch.
He's fun to watch.
As much as I dislike the Cowboys, he is a pretty fun player to watch.
Yeah, he's.
I don't like y'all talking about the Cowboys like that.
You don't like anything, dude. What do you like? Like, what do you like?
I used to like the Texans, okay?
I haven't experienced joy since 2019 when we were up 24-0. That was the last time I felt joy with this team.
Yeah, that was the last.
We never forgot that Chiefs game. It was awful.
I'll never forget where I was.
After that day, I died a little bit on the inside.
So what about you, Poppy? What do you think? Numbers?
I'm just trying to look at the stats, trying to find some hope.
No.
Because like a moral victory for me would be like if we actually make it a close game. There's no possible way I can see that happening. But I don't think I think you guys are gonna like run away with it. But I think you guys are not gonna take it all that serious at the same time. I'm gonna say 28-6, 2 field goals from us, I think.
Okay.
Wow, 2 field goals.
2 field
maybe
goals.
3 safeties.
3 safeties. Yeah, there you go. 3 safeties, yeah.
I don't know.
I think if there is a touchdown score, it's going to be the defense. I don't trust
Yeah.
it, so.
But our turnover rate isn't all that great either. You know, we're not like we have. It's funny because like
nothing about us is great.
Nothing about us is good. Like,
what about Derek Stingley?
I mean, he's out. I don't think he's going to be back for this game either.
Yeah, I don't
he's
think
been
he's
out for like
playing.
3 weeks now.
I wouldn't.
Dalton Schultz 150 yards incoming.
Yeah, yeah. No, it's been crazy, but it's still till I think he still holds the record. Obviously, because he hasn't played in the last three games. He's the only rookie that hasn't allowed a touchdown yet on his side. So that's kind of cool to have. It's a good stat. Dameon Pierce, I think Dameon Pierce himself is a pretty good running back, but I don't think the play calling is helping him right now.
I think we should just rest them, honestly. Just take it easy on them for the rest of the season. And just, try to retool and figure something else out for next year.
But if we rest them, that means more bulkhead offense.
They've been using the other guy, Awundawale. I probably butchered that name, but
Burke is hurt.
Who?
Yeah, Burke is hurt. Number 33, bro. That's who.
Do you guys miss Bill O'Brien yet?
No.
We don't say that name.
We don't say that name here. We don't. It's like
I apologize.
Say his name.
Him,
Dude,
Bruno, and Voldemort are names you should name. Yeah.
So the offense wouldn't be better if you guys had him back.
No.
Here's the thing about Bill O'Brien, right? Towards the end there, before all the stupid trades that he was making, he actually got us kind of far, riding on Deshaun's talent and Hopkins and players like that. But the guy set us back 10 years.
Yeah.
At least.
So I'm glad he's gone. And, if the next 10 years are just going to be rebuild after rebuild and us trying to figure something out, and maybe, but in 2032, we're actually, a fun team.
Man, I'll be.
I'll take it rather than be somewhat competitive now, and then he's setting us back another 10, 15 years. You know what I'm saying?
Did you say 2032?
I'll be 100 years old.
Reels will be mummified by then. Look at him. He's struggling to be alive right now. He's old.
Bro, if he made it 100 years, he can make it another 10.
That's true.
I mean, I probably can.
You look good for 80.
Thank you.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah. No, he doesn't. You look awful.
Take very good care of myself.
He looks very mid for 80.
He moisturizes. No. Nonetheless, like seriously, to answer your question on my opinion there, Zeke, I agree with Poppy that the fact that he set us back years, like that control that he tried to have Bill Belichick like control. The only difference is that he's not Bill Belichick. He didn't
have Brady either.
He didn't have Brady. And so honestly, he already did his due with us. Like it's just for the next 10 years, it's going to be bad for the Texans. Like even with hypothetically speaking, I'm pretty sure that this team is going to go and draft Bryce Young in the first round. I'm pretty sure. Might be wrong. You never know, but I think that's where they're headed. But even then, with Bryce Young, you will have a better offense because you have the return of John Mechie, coming back. And then, so you have some pieces coming back. And maybe from there, you got Dameon Pierce, let's say Bryce Young, and then you got Mechie, who he had in Alabama. And so that could be like a core that you can kind of build around. And then you have an offensive line there that honestly hasn't been too bad. Even though it looks bad, but it hasn't been too bad. And I think it's just developing, And so I think after a while, like you can have a solid little core with those three players and then build around that. And then you have already two defensive pieces, Derek Stingley and Petrie there, that are pretty good. Yes, they've missed tackles here and there, but that's something that in the NFL, from what I've heard, because I have no experience, it is fixable. And so that's what I think on that. Like, I think that this team is going the right route, but it's going to take time, thanks to Bill O'Brien.
Stop saying his name.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the guy.
If you say it 4 times, he comes out. His chin is like...
No, right. Let me ask you something, Sig. Let me ask you something. How do you feel about the Cowboys this year? Like, this far into the season, do you actually see them doing some damage in the playoffs? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely do because, think about the first game. We lose Dak, and all of a sudden we have Cooper Rush, who I legitimately did not think he was capable of anything. I was hoping for Will Grier. And then he rattles off like 3 straight wins, loses a game, wins another game, and then loses to Philadelphia, which was honestly a perfect point for us to switch back to Dak. And then we kind of just keep rolling, and our defense has gotten stronger. I think we're like first in like passing yards allowed, which is like incredible. Unfortunately, we lost Anthony Brown last night. That's a big bummer, but I think that the defense can be able to overcome that. But I've been very it's been like the offense. I would say that the biggest star is Tony Pollard, and in the passing game, it's Dalton Schultz. CD has kind of fallen. He's been up and down for the entire year. He's kind of consistent. Michael Gallup has never caught his stride, but the offense has figured out how to use the rushing attack to win games. And that's what's most important to me, is winning ball games. I'm glad that when Dak came back, they didn't exactly deviate from the winning formula. And I think that that's the winning formula going forward. I think we need to really work up our offensive line. Tyler Smith was a great first-round pick. He's a road grader. Our defensive line has become a very, like purple man-eater, just like always eating quarterbacks. So I would say this year has been like if we go from like the beginning of the year before Dak's injury, I would say it's right on par. If we're going right from Dak's injury to now, I'm saying exceeding expectations. I mean, I was hoping to be 2-4 basically, maybe get 2 wins out of Cooper Rush, but it flipped completely. So I'm very happy this year. I think that we're definitely going to make a run in the playoffs. I'm hoping for 1 playoff win. Like, people are like, oh, Super Bowl. Shut up. Let's win 1 playoff game, and then we'll start talking about Super Bowl.
So what would you consider a failure? Would you consider this season
No
a failure
playoff
at this
wins?
point? Like, if you make it, to the championship game and you lose, do you consider that like a missed opportunity, or are you happy with that?
I'm perfectly happy with that. I at the beginning of the season, I literally asked for 1 playoff win. If we win 1 playoff win, then we can start building from there. If we win 1 playoff win, there's a chance we can go to Super Bowl.
True.
The whole new season in the postseason.
It's seriously like we always lose that like game. Like okay, so if we get to like there's the wild card in the division round. If we get to the division round with the bye and we lose that game, yeah, we got to the second round, but we still lost the first game. That's a very big disappointment. If we win that game and get to the championship and then lose, I can't complain because we did better than last year.
Right.
You guys have a chance to win a playoff game because you'll probably be in the wild card. Because Philly's probably going to win the division, so you're going to be in the wild card. I mean, you got a chance to win a playoff game, and from there, who knows what happens?
Yeah. Zeke, let me ask you a question really quick, and this will be the last one because I know you gotta go in a little bit. What do you think? Do you think the Cowboys are going to sign OBJ? And if they do you think it's more help or more of a distraction if that's the case?
I am
Because there's been rumors.
Sick of this question. Jeez.
I know. Hey, Zeke, what do you think? Do you think the Cowboys are going to?
We don't need them. It's not how the offense is built. If we had a 4-wide offense that was high flying like the Chiefs, yeah, let's slide them in. We can always use a fresh route runner. But that's not how our offense is built. It's going to be a huge distraction. He is going to be the most highest paid 5th wide receiver in the league. Like, I'm not saying his skill is down, but his ability to stay healthy is very low. And that's where I'm at. I did a statistical analysis on OBJ. His first 3 years literally doubled his last, 6 years of production.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah. Well, thank you for answering that question, and I'll ask you again just because I know that annoys you now. I'm just kidding. No, dude, thanks for coming on the show, man. I really appreciate you. Again, check out Zeke's Twitter space this Sunday right after us at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Is that correct, Zeke?
Yep.
And Zeke, let them know where to follow you at, bud.
Yeah, you can follow me at Spoon of Zeke on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I'm always on Twitter, messing around, boosting people, helping people out. It's a big fun on Twitter with me. So, check it out.
He's a good dude, great guy right here. So we'll see you around, and of course, I'm pretty sure we're going to post our profile picture with the Cowboys jersey. So I'm sure Zeke will retweet that.
Don't remind them.
Enjoy.
See you guys.
Right,
see you, bud. Thank you for coming, man. I appreciate you.
Yep.
Have a good one.
You guys can also follow him to his house. His home address is.
Yeah, right. Just give his address. All right. Before we get our next guest, just a quick reminder, y'all. Y'all can follow us on Twitter at JustFans22 and TikTok at JustFans2022. Our next guest is a guy that I talk about constantly on our podcast, but you've never really met him. He is the biggest Cowboys fan I know, probably even bigger than Zeke.
I was about to say, Zeke joins again.
Zeke joins again. Huh? Did you guys call me?
The double guest.
Yeah, double guest. And he is related to me. He's my cousin that lives in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Woo! Which, guess what? We will be there, Rios and I, this weekend to see our Texans lose against the Cowboys.
Thank God I'm not there.
Lose mightily.
Yeah, mightily too, yes, with fashion. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the man, the myth, the worst person I've ever met besides Rios,
I was like,
I
hey,
give you.
Man, that's some high
Don't give my
praise.
title
bro.
for me.
That's some
Come
high
on.
praise.
I know I'm anticipating. I'm building him up. Robert, let him know what's up, Robert.
What's going on?
Well, that's all the time we had for Robert today. That's it. You know, that's all the time.
It's
Bye,
over.
Robert.
Podcast
See you
over.
later, boy.
See y'all later.
See y'all later. Just kidding,
Man,
bro. What's up?
one and done, just like our playoff hopes, right?
Yeah. Look at that. In and out, just like the Cowboys playoff hopes. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. What's going
How's
on,
it
going,
guys?
Robert?
That was too funny.
Thank you for having me on. Yeah, appreciate it, man.
Good to see you,
Love
bro.
the podcast, man.
You
I
what?
think last time I saw you was at the pitch 25 after the Dynamo and what was it? Was it Pumas or was it?
Oh, no, Pumas, Club America.
Oh, America.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Soccer
Yeah,
thing, yeah.
there you go.
And,
It was a
it
good
was
game,
fun.
man. It was a good game.
It was a really good game. It was amazing. Yeah, it was. You're right. It was America versus the Dynamo here.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, we were like expecting the Dynamo to lose horribly, but it was actually a very competitive match. I think
It
he ended up
was.
going to penalties, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually a really good match. Still lost though, but it was.
I was the only Dynamo fan there, but I had
yeah. Right.
How long ago was that? How long ago was that?
I
It was
want
a
to
couple
say
of years.
2014, 2015,
Yeah.
something like that.
no,
Yeah,
no,
it's been a couple of years.
It was like 20.
Was it?
18, I would believe.
Oh no, you're right. It was
Okay.
2018. Yeah, it was
Before,
World Cup
before the
year.
mask.
Okay.
Before the mask.
It was pre-COVID. Yeah, I remember that. Man.
I was
Yeah.
about to say, if Cuauhtemoc was there, you guys would have lost like 8-0.
Oh, horribly. Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
would have been awful. Yeah, no, at all. Yeah, no. But
Absolutely.
yeah, guys, this is Robert. He's actually a really cool dude. I just like messing with him because he's family. We
I was
have
really not expecting you to just kick
Yeah.
him
I know,
out.
right?
That was perfect.
That was cheating.
Yeah.
That's what we got, guys.
Yeah, man. I was about to, introduce myself, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, by the way. I've never met
Yeah,
Rob.
nice to meet you, man. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, man. So as you can tell, Robert's a big Cowboys fan. He's been a Cowboys fan, man, since look at that.
Kick him out again. Kick him out.
Yeah, let's kick him out again. Yeah.
He's
He's a big fan. So we're gonna go this weekend, Rios and I, because he doesn't get out of town at all because he has no life. And no, I'm just kidding. So we're gonna go out of town, and we're gonna meet up with Robert, and we're gonna do some stuff over there. It's gonna be fun at this near the stadium. It's a tradition that Robert and I have. I think we started this tradition when, like 2014 or something like that.
Something around that time.
Yeah, because
it's been a while because we went following it up. And
Yeah.
for 4 years when they play each other.
Exactly.
You know?
It's basically every World Cup year. That's when the Texans play the Cowboys in a regular season game. And so Robert and I, no matter where they are, I think the last time he came here to Houston, and we were at our local bar called the Bull and Bear
Yeah, that
Pub,
was a great
and
pub.
I had a
we
great
watched.
time.
Yeah, you were there too. That's it was a
Yeah.
Sunday night game. It was a Sunday night football game, and it was Deshaun Watson versus Dak Prescott. And man, it was good. We won it. Like,
Yeah, you guys won it. Yeah.
we won it because the DeAndre Hopkins spinning move. Remember that?
Oh my God.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
remember
try not to,
It
man.
was a great game. We
Have
Robert
nightmares
got to
about
wear
it.
the Texans jersey. It was
Yeah.
yeah. It was
Yeah,
a
there was
great time.
There was like a Giants fan in there as well.
There was
too.
a Giants fan there for some
Yeah.
odd, weird reason, and he just
Yeah.
swung by and took a picture with you. So it was like insult added to injury
know,
for you
man.
because you were already wearing the Texans jersey, and then some Giants fan shows up wearing his jersey. I think it was
Yeah.
a Saquon Barkley jersey.
Yeah.
Take a random picture with you, like if he knew. It was hilarious. It was great.
It was
man.
great though, man. It was a good time.
Yeah.
You know?
So let me ask you a question, Robert. Like, just like we asked Zeke, do you since you're wearing your Zeke jersey right now, do you see Ezekiel Elliott coming back next year for the Cowboys?
I don't think so. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. I think the good games that Tony Pollard's had in the last couple of games, but since he's been out, I think Zeke's been out for the last 4 or 5 games. Pretty much, it kind of, sealed the deal, that, GM doesn't need the Zeke anymore, So it'll be very hard for him to see him back. I know he's, what is he, like 28 or something, which is,
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
in running back years. And I think Tony Pollard's a little bit younger than that. So, and Tony Pollard, you've seen him run on those games, man.
He's fun to watch.
Yeah. He finds the holes, he runs, and he's quick. So it'll be hard for me to, probably wear this jersey again next year. You know.
when he's in Seattle. No, I'm kidding. No, we're talking about like where do you think he might go, Zeke? If anything, where do you think what team do you think fits his running scheme and all that?
Oh man, you know what? Probably the Cardinals.
Think so?
Probably the Cardinals. They don't. I don't think right now they have a running back. You know,
Typical
and
Cowboys fan. Just because Emmett Smith did it. Now he's gonna have to do it to the
well, you
Cardinals.
know what? They're the Cardinals. That the whole division, NFC West. It's going to be very competitive.
Yeah.
With 49ers with McCaffrey moving over there, and then you got the Seattle over there with their young running back over there as well too. Um, they might need somebody that I don't know how the Cardinals, what are the records? They might have a good draft pick, but they might need like a experienced running back. So I'm thinking maybe. I mean, quote me wrong. Hopefully he doesn't go to any of the rivals, but I wouldn't be surprised if he goes to the Cardinals.
Okay.
I
Cardinals.
feel like that would be a better fit than the Steelers, if I'm honest.
Hmm.
I also want the Cardinals to do well. So
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean,
well,
we like
they got the young quarterback over there, likes playing
Tyler.
yeah.
Call of Duty. Every time they
Yeah,
call,
Call of Duty.
I was
When he's
in,
not playing Call of Duty, yeah.
oh, wait a minute, Kyler.
yeah,
I
the
know.
double XP weekend is over, so he should be good
Yeah.
to go.
I
It's
know he
like
should be
Gamma.
good.
His sister's birthday conveniently hurt every time. I'm like, wait a minute.
Right.
Why is his gamer tag on going right now?
I know, right?
He's grinding through that battle pass this week.
Yeah.
But he's
He doesn't
actually a
hide
good
a Kyler
quarterback
Murray
though,
one.
man.
He's a very good quarterback.
Yeah, I know.
Underrated, I would say.
Yeah, underrated
to
as
some
well
people.
too. I know he beat the Cowboys last couple years ago or so. I think so, man. He beat them bad. I still remember those games, man.
Yeah, no, it was it's a mess, dude. Like honestly. Oh, and let me ask another one. How far do you think your Cowboys are gonna hit up in the playoffs? Do you think one and done, or do you think they're gonna make a deep run?
You know, the fan in me, is wanting to go all the way. I'll be happy if they reach the NFC Championship game. You know,
Just like Zeke says.
yeah, yeah. So that'll be like a great, great season for them. I think they might still be in the wild card, so they might have some road games going. They've been to the divisional playoffs, and that was years ago with Dak in the first season. Uh, Man, you know what? It just depends. They might have a road game with Tampa. The way it's looking, because
Yeah.
Tampa,
Yeah.
just beat New Orleans, so they might still, have a road game or something. You know what? I mean, obviously, just surprising. Even if they win that first playoff game, I'll be surprised just because the way the season's been going. Surprising in the beginning with Dak going down, Cooper Rush leading the way with 5 wins. But then they come up against a Green Bay where they should win, but they lose. So believe me, I'll be honest to tell you that we're gonna win this next game coming up in Sunday with the
Of
Texans.
course you are. That's a given.
That's a given, but
We might
I
as well,
wouldn't.
we might as well not even play it.
Not even
Yeah,
play like
well, you know
just
what? I wouldn't be surprised, man. Because the Cowboys, man, they like shooting themselves in the foot. Just like at Green Bay. With penalties and stuff like that. But they've been doing pretty good the last couple games. So, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a close game. I wouldn't say it's kind of like a rivalry game, and there's a lot of Texans fans over here too.
Yeah, the last time we went, it was like there was a thing on Facebook where they had they were like, okay, wear red because obviously if we wear the navy blue, it's yeah.
Right.
But when we were, and then I remember like going there, and that's when do you remember when we went? It was when they had the Ebola scare. Remember that when they were like really high around there. They had the Ebola scare. I remember that now. And
Yes.
there was like dudes that showed up wearing hazmat suits. You remember that? We were at that game. And
Yeah.
they were just literally showed up wearing hazmat suits, just whatever. It was pretty funny, but nonetheless, again, this is a way precursor before this whole COVID thing happened.
Right.
And so it was kind of weird seeing those pictures like during COVID. I'm like, oh wow, it's
Yeah.
crazy. But yeah, I remember it was like a sea of red. Like the Texans really showed up.
Yeah, they
that
did. I'll tell you.
game, And that's
Yeah.
when we had Arian Foster as a running back. It was a close
Yeah.
game. We lost by a field goal.
Yeah, we went in overtime, and we won it by
Yeah.
a field goal in overtime. I think
you know,
before those overtime rules.
right?
You know,
Yeah, it was. We had Aaron Foster, and I think he scored the only touchdown in that game. It was a very low scoring game, and I
yeah, it
think
was.
He was having
y'all
his-
had I think it was Bailey who y'all's kicker.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was Bailey.
and then he missed one because he was like perfect, and then that's the game where he missed one.
Of course.
And how do you call it? It was weird, and so like, I don't know where he misses one, and then we just we end up going to overtime. It was a Sunday night football game, and I had to come back to work Monday morning. No, I'm sorry, no, it wasn't a Sunday night game. It was a regular whatever noon game.
Yeah.
But I remember we kind of hung out and partied a little bit, and then I
it
realized
was an afternoon game. It was an afternoon game.
was it afternoon game? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. It was like at the 3:00 game, but it still ends around like 6 or 7.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by the time we were done, we went out and we had a few beers, Robert and I, and then we just kind of like it was late, and I had to be at work at like
The
I
next,
can't remember, like
almost the
7 in
next
the
day,
morning or whatever. So I'm like driving at 2-3 in the morning and back home. And
It's only 4 hours. It's only 4
'cause
hours.
yeah, because at the
Only
time I had to
4
unload a
hours.
truck in the morning, and so yeah, it was crazy. Good times though. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, we've had this tradition since 2014.
Yeah.
And we're keeping it going. You know, it's been good. So I
Yeah.
look forward to it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I always like going to Houston, when they're playing over there, going to all the bars. but no, Carlos, Marcos, man, great host when I go over there.
Who's
I
Marco?
don't remember.
Who's Marco?
You.
Did you just call Rios the wrong name?
Rios.
Oh,
Wow.
he called you
I'm
the
sorry,
wrong name,
man.
bro.
Hey, I like this guy, bro. I like this guy. Fuck you, Rio.
I'm sorry, man. I don't know why I said Marcos, man.
Wow. You know, Marcos is the guy in our fantasy football.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's
Marcos.
right.
He lives over there in your area, in your neck of the wood. Yeah. Shout out to Marcos, who actually check this out. So he's
there you go.
Marcos is the guy that we know from high school. We were in band together. Shut up. And so shut up. And so
Every time you say it, it just fills me with joy.
exactly, it feels with joy. Loser. No. And so we were in band together. So I met Marcos, and he's a director now over there in that area. And so nonetheless, apparently you know how they're having the Spotify end of the year, like your wrap up or whatever. He was all happy. He sent me a text message just a couple days ago, and he was like, "Bro, y'all are like my number one in the Spotify wrap up." I was like, "You loser!" And I was like,
You're only fan.
"How dare you support us, you loser!"
Oh my God.
No, big shout out to Marcos there, but that's why I feel like that's how you got it, Marcos. Yeah, but yeah, this is Rios here.
Yeah. I know, man.
Here's Mauricio, Marcos.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's the nervousness, man. Mauricio.
You're nervous here? Like you're nervous here? Literally, look, Rios is here. Like, look at him. Nobody likes him.
I know I'm handsome, but it's okay, man.
No.
Yeah. That's what it was, man.
Yeah, so handsome. You forgot your name, bro. That's how it is.
Effect on people. Can I say?
Yeah. Apparently. No, but nonetheless, man. Yeah, it's been it's gonna be fun. Let's do some score predictions really quick. So we kind of mentioned some with Zeke. What about you, bud? Where do you think the score is going to be this weekend? Don't be generous. Don't be nice. Be realistic.
Be ruthless.
45.
He's like 87-0.
He's thinking of multiple 7.
Yeah, those weird score games, right?
It's like, what's 7 times 5?
7 times 5. Well, I don't know.
35.
I think I think I'm pretty sure. We're gonna end up scoring 30 points.
Okay.
31-21, Cowboys.
Oh, you're keeping us close.
Damn. Hey, I'll watch that game.
I'm being generous, man.
I'll watch that game.
Hey,
that would be a little.
I'll take it.
Are all of our points in like trash time?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is it trash time points?
Probably so. Yeah.
Like Davis Mills shows up and he's just like starts scoring in trash time.
Well, you'll probably be playing against the bench, so
Yeah.
Toward the end of the game.
Probably.
Our whole team should be in a bench.
It's pretty bad right now, man. I'm not a. Yeah, it's bad. It is what it is. But you know what? Like I said, I'm taking it because it's a rebuild. It's a rebuild.
But it hurts, man.
It hurts. You're right.
Because we shouldn't be rebuilding, man.
We shouldn't.
Y'all shouldn't.
Like a few years ago, we were going like this, and before we knew it, dude, we're like I said, we're the worst team in the league.
Before that play, before that infamous
Oh,
Chiefs
my.
play. Yeah.
Oh
when it
yeah,
started spiraling
what was
down.
that? The divisional? Was that the
It
divisional
was a
game?
divisional, yeah. It was
Yeah, you guys
absolutely
were
a
up 20
divisional.
points. You guys
Yeah.
were up 20 points.
24.
Yeah, we were
24.
up by a lot, and then
Yeah.
it just I
And
like
at
I can't even make
Kansas,
fun of
at
like the
Kansas.
Falcons and the Patriots Super Bowl game because we
Oh,
probably
I can.
well,
Yeah.
of course you can,
Yes.
but I feel bad because like haha you had a lead and dropped it, and then I think about that game like memories of that.
Dude, I was talking so much trash to everyone.
I was too, and then
Every Chiefs fan that I knew, one of them was my boss. I was talking so much trash.
silence. I'm like,
And that was before the half, right?
yeah.
That
Yeah,
was before the half.
yeah, exactly.
That was the last time I felt joy as a football fan.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
A small piece of me died that day.
like I actually believed, dude. I actually thought we could do it. You know?
I had that hope, and then
Didn't the Kansas win that Super Bowl the year before?
No, they
were
won
there
it that year.
That's
They
the year that they won it.
That's
That's
the year that the
Oh,
Kansas
okay,
City
so
won
that-
it,
yeah,
and
that
we
wa-
were this close to taking them out of it.
taking it away. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
and-
beat San Francisco in the
correct.
yeah, they
that's the
did.
Super Bowl where
They
they
did.
beat San
Who's y'all
Francisco.
running back that year?
Man, I can't remember.
It was
Sounds like somebody needs to
Was
search
it,
that
it
up.
wasn't Johnson, right? It wasn't David Johnson, right?
no, it was Carlos Hyde.
Oh, it was Carlos
Oh,
Hyde. Yeah, yeah. Oh, sorry. They're
yes.
talking about for the Chiefs. Sorry. Yeah. It was Carlos Hyde
for
for
the
the
Chiefs.
Texans. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde.
Yeah, because I remember he had
Yeah.
the Arian Foster number, and it was like memories here and there. He had number.
Oh,
They gave
yeah.
him 23.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know if we would have beat San Francisco, but I had hope. You know?
Oh, with Deshaun Watson, yeah, because he was the better quarterback
Yeah.
than Jimmy G.
He
'cause
was, yeah.
He needed to make plays in the fourth quarter. He couldn't do it because he's a game manager.
But
It's
San Francisco gave the Chiefs
Business.
a
Yeah.
game, and Mahomes, I would argue, has always been better than Watson.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's no argument.
Yeah.
there. No argument
Yeah.
there.
Mhm.
Those
That's yeah, I agree. And the thing is, because I always used to say now because no, this is back then before all the stuff happened. I always used to say that Watson was a better one for the sole reason that Watson didn't have those receivers. He only had, I think he had Fuller and he had Hopkins, but
Hopkins,
at
He
the
had a full play
time,
3 games a
like-
year. Like,
yeah, at the time, like Mahomes had, Tyreek, he had
That's all he
Kelsey.
needed, really.
That's all he needed, really. And then, but at
Yeah,
the time,
just
they
with
had a
Tyreek.
decent running back too. Like did they have Kareem Hunt around that time?
They had Kareem Hunt. They
Yeah,
had
they had Kareem Hunt around that time. So
they had a
it-
couple
it was
other
like-
good ones too.
yeah, they had some people in there, but that game was it was crazy
And
because
then
that's
Travis
the same year.
Kelsey.
Yeah, so the Texans faced the Chiefs that year twice.
Mm,
One in a regular season game, and we beat them at Arrowhead.
mhm.
And then the playoff game, and that's when it all went downhill.
Yeah.
And
And
so
that's
that-
what they always say. It's hard to beat a team twice. One in the regular season, one in the playoffs.
But that's the thing, though.
know?
It was supposed to be a beatdown, like the way
Yeah.
they were playing, and
but
'cause
Bill
all the
O'Brien,
momentum the Texans had, all the momentum, but then they
the
just
fake punt is where at the
fake
beginning.
punt. That's where it began. All the momentum
Yeah.
switched over.
That's where my joy as a football fan died.
Now you guys were that was a road game for you guys, right?
Right.
Okay, so were you guys the wild card that year?
Yeah, we beat
Yeah.
Buffalo. We came back and beat Buffalo because they're losing. I want to say like 16-0. They were down by like two.
Oh, it was Josh Allen too.
The Josh Allen, yeah,
Josh
they
Allen.
did-
remember
that's when
that.
they had like Deshaun Watson, like in the fourth quarter, like he got hit by two defenders and nothing happened. He bounced back and then threw it to I think I can't remember, but his number was number 34, and then he just went from there. It was. Oh, you know what? Because Buffalo at the time had picked up the Texans' Kevin Johnson previously, corner, and Deshaun had said, I threw it to 34 because I knew that Kevin Johnson, who the Texans previously had the year before, that let him go because he was terrible, that he was covering him. So he threw it at him, and that's why they ended up getting
missed
the
tackle
win.
and he got in
Wow.
field goal range and
Wow.
It was a great game. Like still to the I remember it perfectly, but man, like now I can't even think of a game where I'm like excited about the Texans. You know what I mean? Like I don't see that. It's been a while. Like Real said, it's when that momentum went down, so
Mhm.
did my dreams and my hopes for
Well,
this team.
I guess you guys could think of it differently. I mean, knowing that you guys
Don't
are
be
going to get that
positive.
first.
Don't be positive.
Don't
Look
be
at you.
positive in this.
Look at you. Glass half full over here.
But knowing now that you guys are going to get that first pick in the draft, right,
Yeah.
next year, you guys are going to go quarterback? You guys think?
We have to.
We
We
have
have
to.
to.
It has to. Like, I know a
Right.
lot of people disagree with that. Like, you have to build all the pieces around, and yes, you do, but you have to start
Mhm.
with a quarterback. You can get other pieces here and there, but when
Yeah,
can you get a quarterback?
right. I should
You
have
know,
picked up
like
Baker
that's
Yeah, because not
Mayfield.
every year there's gonna be like a generational, like a
Yeah,
possible
quarterback.
franchise
Yeah,
type of quarterback, you know.
right.
And the fact that this year there's actually a few up
Okay.
there.
so
And
quick question. This is for the boys here. Well, for anybody really. What do y'all think? So we talk about Bryce Young all the time, but have you guys been keeping up with Caleb Williams?
he reminds me
No.
of a Johnny Manziel, man. He reminds me a lot of Johnny Manziel, just a bigger version. Of just I
So,
don't
do you,
see-
if you're the Texans, would you go? I'm doing a crazy take here. I'm not saying
Right.
that that's what I want. I'm just saying, if you were the Texans, pick Caleb Williams?
No.
No.
Well, you got to
No.
wait a whole year for him, and there's no guarantee you're going to get the number one pick next year. Because think
Okay.
about
Bryce Young, 2023.
because in order
Okay.
to get the number
So
one
who's the
pick,
top pick right now?
you
Who's the
gotta
top
tank it.
Bryce
QB?
Young.
I think
Bryce Young.
Casario, if they're picking number 1 2 years in a row, Casario is going to lose his job. There's
Yeah.
just no way he keeps his job.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's gonna risk it. So you know what? We got a franchise guy here. Let's just roll the dice. Because
Okay. So roll the
Mhm.
dice with Bryce, right?
That-
Like not even look.
maybe-
I'm just asking. I'm not actually saying. I'm
Maybe
not
Garoppolo.
advocating
You
for him.
know,
because if he loses this job, he's not getting hired as the GM anywhere ever again.
Well, it's the NFL. Like you could be terrible
yeah.
GM and like you could be a terrible coach and be hired by the following team. Look at the Cowboys. It's the same thing with who y'all had. No, and it's not even being trying to be like
There's the
Who was
Texans.
it?
Yeah.
Garrett.
no, like the Giants hired Garrett afterwards. Remember that?
Oh, they
After y'all
did.
let him
Yeah.
go.
Oh,
So,
last year. Yeah, that's
but
true.
that's the NFL. Like the NFL, you could have a horrible NFL career in one team
Mhm.
and then get hired by the next. Like I said, Kelly, the guy
Yeah,
y'all have
that's
right now,
true.
Kelly. Yeah. Right? Like when he was
Kelly.
with Green Bay, or no, was it no with the Eagles? I'm sorry. He like traded everybody from the Eagles, right?
Chip Kelly. Yeah, that's
Chip
right.
Kelly, yeah. And so
He's in college though.
Yeah,
college.
yeah. I
Oh,
think.
who do y'all have?
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm over here like running. I don't pay attention to the Cowboys, obviously. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Well, it's
Like,
different.
I
with general
should,
managers.
Chris.
General managers, it's much higher up. If you screw up that job, you're gonna have a hard time finding the job.
Yeah,
Look
with the
at,
manager position, because I think you're right. My
look
bad.
at
I was
Dane.
thinking of the wrong coach.
Dane hasn't been hired as a GM since, and he didn't
Who?
do anything wrong. He just got run out by Easterby and O'Brien.
Brian
Who was
Gaine?
it?
Brian Gaine, yeah.
Yeah, Brian Gaine.
Is
Oh.
he a GM? No, because
But
he didn't do anything
Same-
wrong. He just got run out, and they gave him a bad name and a bad rap. And he
Yeah,
doesn't-
probably so.
yeah, what about Rick Smith? Remember we used to have Rick Smith? Do you see him?
no GM job.
So let me
That one,
ask.
it's more high risk because it's such a high position. You have so much control. You can't
Yeah.
mess it up.
Yeah, because if you mess it up, I mean, you're messing up like years of work. You know, franchise. You know.
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really quick, how do you call it? I was thinking, would you like clean house if you're Cal McNair?
Yes.
Like clean house and try to get D'Amico Ryans over here back home to the Houston Texans? Anyone?
I would say you got coach, coordinator, all gone. You need to start fresh. If you're going with a new quarterback, possibly new uniforms next year, fresh start across
Yeah.
the board.
Are you sure? I mean, because I guess I could see it both sides.
Well, my thing is this: who do you retain? Lovey? No. That cover two, the Tampa two? No. It's so outdated. And it's not the right scheme for the players that we have. Like Stingley is a shutdown corner. He needs to be playing in man and press, but we have him in cover two. Like it makes
Cover two.
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
I mean, but think about it. Next year we're gonna have like for the I think we got like 12 draft picks next year. Like the team is gonna look a lot different next year.
They're gonna have a lot of good young players.
start fresh.
A lot of good young
Exactly.
players,
So
You want a new coaching staff that doesn't have any ties to the previous players. Like this
I'm
is
pretty
people-
sure. Yeah, I don't think Lovey Smith is coming back to the Texans.
No,
You
I don't think
know,
so either.
I mean, if it was, what is your record like?
110.
110, 110 and 1, I think.
What?
Yep.
Okay, with that tie, yeah, yeah. I mean, he probably would have had like an argument if y'all would have won like 5 games with the players
Yeah.
that you guys got now.
Yeah.
Give him
One
like an extra year, but
Yeah, he's gone.
yeah,
Yeah, that victory, and then every post press conference has been
It's bad.
it's been bad. It has been, like when we had our buddy eBay on, and he was talking about how they're pressing him. Yeah, they did press him a lot. They do, but now at this point, it's like you're giving the same thing. We're like, well, we just haven't figured it out. We just haven't figured it out. I'm like,
I'm like,
What if he's just tanking? What if he's just tanking to
maybe
get
like part of the
quarterback
process,
and figure it out next year?
like part of the process, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe.
probably so.
If he comes back in the Roman Cornell position where he's like kind of like a figurehead, he doesn't have an official role. He's just there.
Mhm.
I can see him coming back in that position, but as far as defensive coordinator, coach, or
Would that be worth it for him? Wouldn't he just want another job somewhere else?
Yeah.
But he's a good defensive-minded coach, so like he can find a
or he
defensive.
could be like a consultant, basically.
Yeah,
Like Roman Cornell was for all. He was just a consultant. He didn't have an official title. He was just a consultant to the team. But they wanted to keep him on board on the staff, but
They
they
should
don't want
consult
him in
me.
charge of everything.
They should just consult me. I'll tell them what to do.
Ask Madden.
Ask Madden. Just do the Ask Madden place.
I should bring Wade Phillips back.
No, we did. He's in the XFL. He's playing he's a coach for the Roughnecks.
Yeah,
The only still undefeated. Team.
undefeated. There you
Could have been
go.
the champions. Like,
The
only
He's actually a good coach,
Walker
man.
back.
He's
We gotta
actually a
bring him
good
back.
coach.
PJ Walker. We should have won that game, but then we should have won that championship. But then COVID hit and everything went berserk.
I'm still taking it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's a championship. Undefeated season.
Undefeated, yeah.
Undefeated. All right. Yeah, that was insane. All right, so we're gonna.
Question. Clean house. As far as coach,
Yeah.
that's a tough one because
I'd love to see D'Amico, bro.
Ryan's back, but
I'd love to see D'Amico. I still got that jersey.
I would love to see him. But I think if you're gonna go quarterback, you got to go with the offensive-minded coach.
Yes.
Who's gonna?
I would agree. I agree with that. I'd rather outscore our opponents rather than go. I mean, Dallas is doing pretty well now just because like their defense is like top 5, very elite at the moment. But I just want to watch some fun football, man.
Right.
Like I watch Miami
competitive
play,
games,
the Chiefs and everything. Yeah. Like I just want us to score some points.
I mean, your division.
I just want to get to the end zone.
Who's leading the division right now? The Titans? Is it the Titans that are?
The Titans are at the top.
They just fired their GM. They're number.
Yeah, they just fired their GM.
They just fired. Yeah, they just fired their GM.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Because if they're number 1 and they're fired their GM for the multitude of.
Yeah, but you're number 1 in one of the worst divisions in the league. Does that even mean anything?
Hey, we were the NFC East was like that last year.
Yeah,
remember the NFC East? I think the
NFC East.
Yeah, but I don't think next year our
that
division is gonna get any better.
Yeah, not even.
If anything, Tennessee's gonna get worse because Henry's just gonna be older.
And there was also like rumors that Rabel was gonna go to college.
Yeah,
really?
I saw that. Like
I didn't see that.
Yeah, Ohio State, I think.
Yeah, that's where he went to school at. So
yeah, so we might end up leaving.
I don't know. I
State.
think he's a good coach. He's a good coach.
Yeah,
he turned around that.
Rabel's at O'Brien, honestly.
Yeah. He turned that team around.
Yeah.
He turned them around. Even with the quarterback. What's his name? I keep forgetting his name. Tannehill, man. Yeah, he wasn't.
He revived his career in Tennessee.
He wasn't good in Miami.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He turned it around.
So there's other things I wanted to cover besides our just that. So I know that really quick. Let's switch over to baseball really quick.
Big news
the news today. I don't know if you saw the Goldilocks balls from the Yankees. You saw that?
Wow,
really? Give us a take, bro.
For the surprise of no one.
Wow.
Come on, Aaron Judge hit almost twice as many home runs as everybody else. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Everybody.
That's right. He was leading the league in home runs, wasn't he?
In October.
A huge margin.
Wow.
In October, where they found the most. The amount there was incredible. The Goldilocks balls.
All the Goldilocks balls were at Yankees games.
That's probably why that guy that caught that home run, is he's holding it for ransom. You
Right.
know, I think
Good,
they offered,
good.
yeah, I think they offered him
I
like
do
$1
the
million,
same
and he still hasn't sold.
Yeah.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Dude, that is insane. Like seriously, MLB is just they need to take responsibility for that. Rob Manfred, man, come on.
He's a Yankees fan. Are we
He's a
surprised?
Yankees fan. Like they it's hilarious that they tried so hard to make the
Mhm.
Yankees win and they still lost against the Astros.
Like they cheated multiple times to continue to lose to their daddy, the Astros. Like
yeah.
Wow.
It's hilarious. Even when it's like, come on, dude. Like you had the advantage. And you play in a Mickey Mouse stadium and then they give you the Goldilocks balls and you still end up losing. Like, bro.
the commissioner is literally giving you guys the keys to victory, and you still choke. I love it.
Yeah. Nonetheless, we didn't talk about a signing Abreu. What do y'all think about that one? The Astros signing Jose Abreu. I was down for it because that was one of my picks.
Mhm.
Now, I liked it. I know that the age, I think for Papi, I think that was the issue with him. Is that right or am I wrong here?
Yeah, like
I like it.
The whole point with Mancini, the whole reason we got Mancini is because we wanted depth at the first base. And obviously he could play left field, and we thought he was going to hit more homers in the juice box as he did. But the thing is that Gurriel he's an old man. He was our best hitter in the postseason for sure, our most consistent hitter. But he's an old man. Mm-hmm. So just like we did with Peña, just like we did with Tucker in the past, just like we've done like the Astros have done for the past 7 years. Why aren't we just try to get the young players from the farm system, or even just try to trade for maybe some young players, some young talent outside of our own farm system, just to see if we can bring that age down, because yes, Abreu's probably gonna bring more batting to the lineup. Would you argue that that's what we were missing though?
Yes, I think that there were times.
I don't know,
Really?
because the top half of our lineup is pretty stacked, and if Gurriel can even give you, half of the production he gave you this past year, it's still pretty solid.
Well, the thing about
the black hole of our offense was that Mancini, Machete, Diaz type of bottom of the line. The
lineup was the issue. Yeah.
But for a minute, Altuve was struggling. Bregman was struggling. No, Bregman didn't struggle. No, Altuve, Jordan struggled.
But in the postseason, as a postseason move, I like it. But as a building towards the future type of move, I think it's a lateral move. I don't think it's a step back. I don't think it was a mistake. I think
it's a mistake.
I don't think it's a mistake. I don't think it's a mistake.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was. I was like,
I don't think it's a mistake, but it's not what I wanted to see. Like in a perfect world, maybe towards the trade deadline, we can make some moves, because we still, I would argue, a left fielder was probably more of a priority than first base.
Center fielder.
I mean, you could argue that Chaz earned the spot.
It's iffy.
I see him off the bench, but as a full-time starter, I don't know, man.
Yeah. I mean, why not? What do we have to lose, really?
At this point, yeah, you could try out Chaz McCormick in the center field spot and make him your starter, and then obviously by the trade deadline, if it's it's inconsistent or that's like your weak point, then obviously you go out for a center fielder. Clearly,
right? But that's exactly what we're talking about. The outfield was more of a priority than the infield, really. So I don't know why. I mean, why spend any amount of money on another first baseman, especially a 35, 36-year-old man, when we could
But then again, I think you had Hensley, who could play first, if I'm not mistaken, number 17.
But he was decent.
He was decent. He can get you in, but I think what they're trying to do is I think they were trying to get either on base or get or just use how do you call it, Abreu's talent to hit homers. Like this dude was hitting homers like crazy this year too.
He was MVP in 2020.
But I don't know if we need more homers. I feel like we need to get more on base. I think that's the issue. Our offense would be flawless if just Diaz would consistently get on base. If Diaz and McCormick can just consistently get on base, we would be set. Because after that, even if Machete strikes out, then the top of the lineup comes back. We got Altuve, we got Jordan, we got Bregman, we got Peña.
Okay.
I think we just need to somebody who can get on base and do the job defensively.
Well, I think one part of the reason they signed him, so they're gonna have Abreu play first base and have Yuli as a utility hitter or a DH.
DH, yeah.
Eliminate the need of having Chaz or Diaz out there.
Yeah, but does that mean Jordan is playing left field? Because I do not want Jordan in the outfield. I do not want him to get injured trying to go for a ball and then he's out for a month. We know he's prone to have injuries in his hands. If we can limit the amount of time Jordan is out there, the only thing I want Jordan doing is hitting walk-up homers on Seattle and New York and the Dodgers and the Saints. That's
anyone
all.
and the Phillies,
And the Phillies.
whoever, bring them. Especially those pesky Texas Rangers who we despise. Signing DeGrom out of nowhere,
we got problems of our own, man.
But that's what I mean. That's all I want Jordan to do. I do not want him playing out there.
Yeah.
Honestly, has there been any announcement on Brantley at all?
No, not yet.
They're trying to bring him back. From what I'm hearing.
They're in talks.
If we can bring him back, I would take that all day.
Even better.
Yeah, because he was also he was always very, very good defensively, but offensively he also brings homers and he gets on base consistently.
He gets on base. That was one of the issues too, though, that we couldn't get on base to save our lives towards the end. Like even in the playoffs, like somehow the top of the bat, like Altuve, and there were times where Pena would just like strike out, and same thing with Jordan. Like even in the postseason, like
Jordan only hit.
That was scary. Yeah, to me, because that was scary. Because y'all remember 2019 Jordan, where all season he did pretty well, and then suddenly in the playoffs goes away. Like it was crazy. But then like that home run against the Phillies, that right there was the moment. That was perfect. Like he showed up when he needed to, and that was it.
I know that like the stakes on that game were even higher.
Yeah.
But I still kind of prefer the one against Seattle, man. Oh man, that one was so
we were losing the whole game. Like we had no chance. Like they were about to, steal one in Minute Maid, and then he just crushed the dreams and hopes. I love it.
It was amazing.
That was a playoff right there, right?
It was.
Yeah, that was the first game,
right? First game against Seattle. Yeah.
Okay.
ALDS, the first game of the ALDS. That was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you feel about is it DeGrom or DeGrom? I can't remember the signing.
DeGrom, however you.
It doesn't matter. He's playing for the Rangers.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna watch.
Irrelevant.
You know what?
I'm
glad that they spent some money on some on a pitcher. Obviously,
do you think it's worth it though?
How like what's the contract?
I think it's 5 years, 185. 5 years.
Not bad.
They didn't have no pitchers, man. I think they got the batters, but they didn't have any pitchers. I think that was a good signing. That was. But
you guys are gonna need more depth in that bullpen if you guys want to make any type of noise.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Just because their pitching sucks all last year. And I'm glad. You know what? Whatever. When they fired the GM like mid-season or something. I think it was mid-season or something. I forgot. But Daniels, that was the GM. He's just been there a whole while. He couldn't turn it around. And I think it's kind of the same thing as when they had Jason Garrett as a coach for 10 years and didn't really show anything.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad that they made that deal. Just for
it was interesting for sure. Out of all the teams that were like mentioned, the Rangers was not on my radar at all.
No, me either. It was a surprise. So hopefully they don't let off the gas. And keep getting a couple other guys on the pitching side.
Yeah.
So
because they're the Rangers.
Maybe you guys can finish third in the division this year. Maybe.
What's that?
Maybe you guys can finish third in division.
Man, I hope not.
Let me ask another question. There, Robert. How do you feel about going to a stadium that's literally looks like our stadium?
It's a great value Minute Maid, bro.
Great value Minute Maid.
You know what? It's what is it is what it is, man.
I'm messing with you.
It is what it is, man. You know what and you guys are gonna see it once y'all go over there. It's a nice atmosphere over there. They're switching that whole area around with the stadiums and stuff like that. I'm surprised the Mavericks are not moving over there. So but
that's what that is. That's what it looks like.
What's
Great
that?
Value Minute Maid.
Great value tropical.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
There you go. Dude. There you go.
No, I'm excited to go to that bar we're gonna be at. What's it called? Texas. What's it called?
Texas Live, man.
Texas
Live.
Live. That
Yeah.
looks fun. Like that looks like
Yeah.
it has a terrible view of the AT&T Stadium, but the actual place looks good. Like it looks really
It's
nice. I'll send you pictures. You'll
it's
probably
good. It's
think
got, yeah, you know what? I've never been as well too. I never had the chance to. I think they,
Mhm.
you know, they built it like maybe like a year ago, more than a year ago.
Mhm.
You know, don't quote me on that, but it
Nope.
looks, yeah, everybody keeps talking about it, and you know,
Okay.
it's gonna be an early game. So you know, and
Yeah,
with the World
we're gonna
Cup
get there
playing,
early too.
you
Yeah.
know, the World Cup playing, I think they got some games early in the morning as well too.
Oh, nice. Okay, so
So
speaking of the World Cup, what games did you really, really like? First of all, let me talk about Mexico. We got eliminated.
Why are we still talking about
In
Mexico?
you know
wonderful
what?
That was a
fashion.
Hey,
week
you
ago.
know
Why are we still
they
talking
were
about
they
Because
were
we
in
Mexico?
the
didn't talk about
knockout
it last
stage
time, bro.
before
That's
everybody
why.
else, man.
Because we didn't need to.
We didn't need to. We knew. Yeah. So Mexico's out. USA is out. Japan got eliminated, right, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
They
are
got
some
smart.
games?
unlucky, man. They actually
Unluckily,
played a good game. They actually played a
nobody's
good game.
in the stadiums anymore.
Yeah.
Anybody, give me a game that really stood out to you.
Morocco
Braz-
and
I
Spain.
think
Morocco and
Brazil,
Spain.
man. Well, that was a good because of penalty, but Brazil, man, Brazil's scary.
Yeah.
They are.
Brazil is scary, man. They got some good. They got what was it? I can pronounce his name. He's a Real Madrid. I know. Mauricio, you know, yeah, yeah.
Vinicius.
Yeah. And then Richardson, and then obviously Neymar.
Yeah,
You
Neymar.
know,
Yeah, they
but
look. Brazil looks good. They always do. But man, they got some generational players. Argentina actually looks pretty decent too. I hate
mm,
to admit it, but Argentina looks pretty decent too. And
yeah,
like I said, my pick is still France. I still think France, even without
really.
France looks stupid, bro.
dude, even without Kante, like they're still playing like this, even without N'Golo Kante, who's like one of my favorites. And then
Right.
I'm not too honestly, Pogba, the name is legendary, but I like N'Golo Kante, especially because when I see him, I'm a Chelsea fan. I like seeing him
Of course
when
you
in
are.
Chelsea. Shut up. And so, seeing N'Golo Kante, geez, man, that guy is a midfield. Like he's the definition of it.
Yeah,
N'Golo
that's a
Kante.
good
But
team.
even without him, though, like France is, like you said,
Yeah, because I don't
amazing,
think because they're
crazy.
playing England
They're
this
playing
what
England,
is it? They're
and
playing
England.
that's like
England.
when you look at the quarterfinals,
England
that's the
was
game that
look
I'm
good
looking
too.
forward to.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
looking
that's
for
gonna be a
That's the
good
game that
game.
I'm looking forward to, man. Because England,
They have a squad.
in the group stages, they look kind of shaky, especially
Mm,
against the US.
yeah.
But man, like when you look at their squad, like, I don't think nobody has more depth than England on their subs bench. But when you look at their starting 11,
hmm
um, dude, you just have so much creativity that wasn't there um, in years prior. You know, like they made it to
mm,
the final of the Euros a couple of years ago, but in that game they actually lacked that creativity because most of their creative players like weren't given the freedom to play like they are playing right now. Saka, I know he missed the penalty when they lost in the Euro final, but Saka might be the tournament's best young player
mm.
if Mbappe doesn't qualify for that. You know what I'm saying? I
hmm
don't know how
Oh
old
yeah,
Mbappe is now. I don't know what the
like
threshold is,
23 or 24 or something.
but Saka might win Young Player of the Year because he's been amazing.
Yeah,
He's been amazing to watch. He's probably my favorite player to watch this World Cup so far.
yeah. It's been a good World Cup. I'm liking it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm liking the
I
Final
still think
Four.
France is going to take it all.
Yeah,
Same.
I think it's just gonna be. I think it's Brazil, and
Brazil.
Portugal in the final because Portugal looks scary today too.
They got some depth also.
They
And
do,
that was
but I
without
don't.
Portugal have a
Ronaldo.
good
Ronaldo didn't even play. Maybe like 5 minutes towards the last
Yeah,
couple minutes
dude. No, Portugal does look good. I just don't see them to be
at that
that good
level.
at
Yeah,
that
because
level.
they would have no because Portugal would have to play Brazil to go to the final.
Yeah,
I don't see Portugal beating Brazil, man.
yeah. I don't
no,
either.
Their defense is just a little too old for all these young Brazilians running circles around.
Yeah,
no.
they're gonna tire them out. They're gonna wear them out.
You could argue that Brazil hasn't really faced a strong opponent yet,
Mm,
but like defensively, even though Portugal are pretty solid,
yeah,
Vinicius is gonna eat Pepe
Yeah.
alive, man.
yeah.
Eat him, and Neymar doesn't even have to get behind the line to cause havoc.
Yeah.
No. I don't even think
really see
Neymar
Brazil making
scored.
it to the final. I think it's going to be a Brazil-France.
You think so?
Right, that's what I called.
And I honestly think France is going to take it.
Yeah.
Really?
It pains me to say because
back to back, huh?
back to back, dude. That hasn't been done since
Brazil.
Brazil. Yeah, in like
Brazil.
the 50s.
Brazil or Cherne.
Yeah.
When like Rios was born.
One of the powerhouses since Rios was like 4. Yeah, that's what has happened.
I was there.
He
Or
was
should we
there.
call him
Baby.
Marcos now? Is it Marco?
Oh, Marcos. Sorry, yes, Marcos.
I'm sorry, Mauricio, man.
That's hilarious. No, I'm gonna call him Marcos from now on. Hold on. Give me one second.
I'm gonna call you Marcos Pizza.
Oh my God, that's a good pizza, man. That's a compliment.
It's really not.
It's really
Yeah,
not
that's a good pizza, man.
dude.
Maybe
I've
it
had.
was last time.
How did you like me? What is this? Level of betrayal.
Oh my God.
No, yeah, I think it's gonna be back to back, dude. Because, like I said, France is gonna play England, and then they will have to play either Netherlands or Argentina, and both of those teams are very beatable, especially by a team with like France that has like 20 strikers. So
yeah, because if Brazil plays Argentina, I don't think Argentina passes Brazil.
Dude, if Brazil plays Argentina, dude, like people are gonna get shot in the stands.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
That's a good rivalry, man. That's a good rivalry. Yeah.
It's a good rivalry, but I don't.
Where do you think, Marcos? Your name changed.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
That's so funny. I'm like, that's how he's gonna sign in from now on. Marcos at
I'm
Just
sorry.
Fans for it.
I'm sorry, Marcos. I'll buy you some beer.
There you go.
I feel like the best final we can get would be Brazil and France.
And France.
I feel like that's the best final.
It's gonna be a good one. Yeah.
You all right, buddy? My dog's over there like drinking water like crazy. I don't know if y'all can
really?
hear.
And if it's Brazil, France, I see it going to penalties.
What? Really?
If it does,
Yeah.
I want it to be like a at least like a 2-2 game and then penalties.
No, it's not gonna be 0-0. It's gonna be like
No, I don't want another 0-0, man.
No, I said it's not gonna be.
The penalties are exciting, man. I think it was
man, listen to Marcos.
Spain and Morocco, right? That was a surprise. Morocco won.
I'm not surprised.
No,
I'm not surprised the way they played. They were playing to go to penalties.
Yeah.
Well, and plus, Spain's full of Barcelona players, and they choked the Europa level. They didn't belong.
I mean, you like I said, they should have taken all the Madrid players, but I forget Madrid doesn't have any Spanish players.
Oh,
I love how they're like Spain's team, and they have like Carvajal and Asensio, and those people don't even play half the time.
Well, look what teams they got to play for. They play for France and Brazil. Yeah.
No, man, it's gotta be France.
Mic drop,
it's gotta be France. It's gotta be France.
I mean, sorry,
mic
Marco.
drop.
All right, y'all. Well, that's about. We're gonna call it. So, thanks again, y'all, for joining
Thanks,
us.
guys.
Really
Appreciate
quick. Really quick. Check us out at our Twitter handle, JustFans22, and TikTok at JustFans22. Again, join us. Rios and I.
Get out of here.
Get out of here with
Finish
that.
my name back to what it was.
No.
Oh my God, that's great.
You can't end it until my name is changed.
Yeah, you can't end this until he's going on strike. He doesn't show up. Check us out on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. That's right. On our Twitter Spaces, Rios and I are going to be talking Texans, Cowboys for a little bit right before we open up for Zeke. And that should be it, y'all. Thanks again for joining us, guys. Appreciate y'all as always. Thanks again, Robert, for coming on the show. And
thanks for the invite.
Completely destroyed by us.
Mauricio's not gonna have me anymore.
You mean Marcos, right?
Marcos, sorry, Marcos.
All right, boys. Thanks for coming. I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Have a good one.
Ciao, ciao.